welcome. So, thanks.
Very cool.
Okay, so I was debating whether I would do this, and now I'm here and I want to do it. So I invite everybody to bring an ancestor to mind from your family, or from your adopted family, just whoever means ancestor to you. You can close your eyes if you want to, keep them open if you don't want to, and just let them come into the space with you and welcome them here. My ancestors are very much here right now. They're in all of these. Just bring them to mind for a little bit. I'm just gonna go quiet for a little bit, just for us to take a sec. Okay, and this is the terrifying part. So I learned a Hawaiian mele about 8 months ago. And I learned that it is a way to open up a space, again, to welcome our ancestors, the ones that we want to come, the good ones, and to ask them for the knowledge that they know that we know that they have, that they can give to us if we just pay a little bit more attention. If anyone knows the E Ho'omai mele, you can do it with me, but I'm not sure that anyone does because I just learned it. So I'm gonna do it, and it's fine if you want to close your eyes because then I don't have to look at you, but I'm probably just gonna look down. For context, you repeat it 3 times, and each time you raise and pitch. Now I'm just procrastinating. Okay. E ho'o mai ka ike mai luna mai e, o nā mea huna noe au, o nā mele e ho'o mai, e ho'o mai, e ho'o mai e ho'o mai ka ike mai luna mai e, o nā mea huna noe au, o nā mele e ho'o mai, e ho'o mai, e ho'o mai e ho'o mai ka ike mai luna mai e, o nā mea huna noe au, o nā mele e ho'o mai, e ho'o mai, e ho'o mai e. Okay. So now for the rest of this. Aloha kako, kamusta kapo, anombolitas, salamat po, mahalo nui loa, miigwech for being here. I am so excited to share these drawings with you. It's really wild to see these kinds of drawings outside of the margins of my school notebooks and my notes at work when I'm supposed to be doing admin. And actually a lot of these drawings come from those doodles because the way that I made these, so long story, but I'm gonna get to it, and I hear that Indigenous elders tell stories by telling everything that came before the thing that they actually want to tell you. So I'm gonna follow that. So my brother designed this drawing table. It's a light table when he was like 14, and my mom's partner at the time, unimportant. Long story, yeah, we don't need to unpack that. Anyways, so, but he was a woodworker, which was one of my favorite traits of his. He made good cookies and that was it. But he made this really cool light table, and now I say that my brother made it, so I avoid that history. And it's this huge light table, and the whole surface is made out of plexiglass, and there's lights underneath. And my brother didn't use it once, and I got just so attached to it, and it's kind of all I did. I would just go up it was in my sister's room, but she went to college, so I just had this little I guess it was an art studio. And I would draw things on notebook paper and then trace them and then trace them again and then trace them again and then trace them again until I was really satisfied with them. And now I'm less of a perfectionist, and I've made these just by tracing doodles, sketchbook pages, things that I print out for my iPad that I've drawn, and turn them around and flip them over and like draw some lines from one drawing and then some from another. And so what you're looking at is kind of like years and years of doodling all condensed into these pieces. And also like the text in there is like from now times, it feels like, and the drawings are from forever, but the text is kind of just a reflection of my research into my ancestors, like the past 3 years, and all the books and readings and teachers that I found along the way. And that is what this zine is. It's an anthology, and it's my own writing. Some of it is journal entries, some of it is, I would actually not polished, they're essays, and some are journal entries. And it helps kind of, it's like a glossary of the cryptic things that I say up here. I can't promise that everything will be explained, but a lot of it will. So yeah, I was supposed to say this way before, but I want to say thank you to Macrosty and to Jesus and to Katie. Grand Rapids has become a really, really special place to me and to my wife and our friends who come and visit with us. And we never just come up here and leave. We always really, really want to just be here and be in the space and be with the community. So thank you all as well for making up that community that I'm always so excited to see. Is there anything else I'm going to say? I'm going to read one. I had 3 entries written down, but I think that I'm going to be kind to people's attention spans and just read one. And it's the first one. It's like a teaser in case you want to take the free book home. So I'm not trying to sell it. You can just take it. And if there are none left, because I printed 30. Thank you to my wife, Miriam. My notes are all over the place. Yes, my co-conspirator and my co-creative partner and my garden and elderly dog co-parent and best friend and wife, who I followed across an ocean to stay with, and she has helped make this a thing, and it would not be here without you. So thank you. I love you. Okay. All right. This is all improv, so I don't know what's coming out. So, okay. This is the first entry of my zine, and it helps, I think, cover some ground and just help there be a little less mystery. Okay, so this is entry 1, and it's a transcribed journal entry, and it's from August 7th, 2025. Yesterday, I reached out to an auntie I've never met, La hermana de mi papa que va, who became an ancestor following my 2nd birthday in the February of 1998. She and my father never met. One sibling growing up on the Caribbean Ocean in Guyana, Puerto Rico, and one sibling growing up on the Pacific Ocean on Oahu in the Kingdom of Hawaii. My grandma promised her she would return when she turned 5, and then my auntie could come with her to Hawaii. She said, okay. On my auntie's 5th birthday, my grandma returned. She asked if her keiki wanted to come home with her. The keiki, my auntie, my father's sister, refused. They did not see each other again. My dad was born and they grew parallel until my dad became an ancestor in 98, the February after I turned 2 in October. And my auntie went on living in Guyana, and in 2026, I sent her a Facebook message made of high school Spanish, my wife's Spanish fluency, and Google Translate. The morning of the day, I made contact with my lost tita. Dakota teachers and elders Ramona King Stately and her son Ruben gifted knowledge to me in the form of songs, stories, and answered questions on the Pedote tour. We first walked to the confluence of the rivers known to settlers as the Minnesota and Mississippi rivers. The Dakota understand Pedote, Minnesota as the center of our universe. We walked then to Oheawahi, the hill much visited, known to settlers as Pilot Knob Hill. Pedote, throat, refers to when a child is born and takes the first breath of life. At Bidota, Minnesota, Ruben gifts us a song, drum, and voice to welcome us to the ground at the confluence of the rivers. He tells us about the matriarchal, matrilinear structure of Dakota society and the story of the drum in his hands. Ramona tells us about the white bluffs and generations of burial mounds we should have been able to see from Bidota, Minnesota, had the settler colonists not ripped out many, many cottonwood trees. She teaches us that the cottonwood trees are the doctors of the forest. They are the keepers of the floodplains whose axe hills clean the air. Settlers have always viewed rough-barked cottonwood trees as menaces to property value. They attempt to replace cottonwood roots with ones that suit settler sensibilities. She tells us about the island to our right, Widatonka, the great island, where generations of children were born, including her family members, the babies and their mothers both fed and healed with the plants of Widatonka. At Oheawahi, Ruben tells us the hill is a sacred place for peace, a protected place between two settler cemeteries. It is also land over which migrating birds fly in every season. These grasses have brought many species out of extinction. This land also holds the memory of settlers hosting grave-robbing picnics, recreational desecration of indigenous peoples' burial mounds, the ancestors of Dakota and other indigenous peoples visiting Oheawahi. Much of those ancestors' belongings have furnished or now furnish local museum exhibits. Some of those objects have returned to people. Many, many remain stolen. The day I made contact with my lost Tita was the same day I learned from Dakota elders and teachers about the land I myself am a settler on, the land I also call home, land whose earth my roots share with cottonwood roots and many others, Minnesota Makochi, specifically Bidote Otunwe. That same day I resumed with fervor the search for my ancestors, my relatives, via websites that hold my family history behind paywalls. I know these websites steal my data, etc., but it is one way to access knowledge that could not otherwise be transmitted via the elders and teachers who are my ancestors. A very sci-fi spiritual tension. I have slowly begun learning the names of the ancestors who encircle me. The day I made contact with my lost Tita, I read and recorded this Ilocano proverb, which I read in the book Forgotten Children of Maui, written by an elder named Lane Wilkin. No saan nga makaamo nga ning taliao ti nagapuana saan a makadanang ti papanana. One who does not know one's origins will not reach one's destination. Wow. Now I hang around and I might look shy and scared, but I promise I do want to talk to you and answer questions. And I'll try not to run away. Yeah.